Good morning, Northwest. Okay, so this is Walter, my cat, and he wanted to join, although he doesn't want to stay for the whole thing, so I'm gonna let him go. And to start today's announcements, we're gonna be doing the pledge. Please stand with me. Have your right hand on your heart and your left hand on your side. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And today I have a meme. It's one that I think a lot of us do, and so it's kind of funny. It's the biggest lie I tell myself. I don't need to write that down. I'll remember it. Just like I did just the other day. And I'm going to pass it to Miss Stout. Have a great day. Bye.
Good morning, Titans, and welcome to another episode of Think About It Thursday. I'm taking it back from Mr. Trump. Last week, or I guess the week before last, when I got to speak to you last, I asked you what do you thought was the hardest job in the world? And I got lots of great answers, and some of them are ones that I definitely would have thought of, and other ones are ones that actually made me think a little bit. So there are two of you that thought being a 911 operator was the hardest job in the world, or like a suicide hotline operator, which I fully agree, because you hear some of the most terrifying situations in the world and have to guide those people calmly. And I do think that would be hard. So Cole in 8th grade and an anonymous 7th grader thought that being a 911 receiver, because you hear terrible things and there's nothing you can do about it except send help and try to help them remain calm. And the anonymous person said a suicide hotline operator, because while it may not be physically difficult, it's mentally taxing. And I definitely agree with that. Then there were quite a large amount of you that thought anything in the medical profession, especially right now, is difficult. Whether it's a doctor, Ayushi in 6th grade said it was a doctor because they have to be really careful with everything they do. Like, they can't make mistakes. Like, where some jobs it's okay if you make a mistake, but doctors don't have that leeway. They can't make mistakes. And I very much appreciate when they don't, because I do not want one of my doctors making a mistake, especially if they're performing surgery or something. So Emma in 8th grade, Tanner in 6th grade, Sawyer Elizabeth in 6th grade, and Paige in 7th grade also all agreed that doctors, medical professionals, all of that, because it's such a heavy responsibility to be responsible for someone's health. And I very much agree with them. Then we have a little pocket of people that said being a parent is the hardest thing in the world. And I do think that if your parents saw this, it would warm their heart to know that you see that their job is hard, raising children and doing the right thing. An anonymous 6th grader said being a single mom is hard, because you have to take care of those kids all by yourself. And then Brooklyn in 8th grade said being a parent because you have to do everything for us, and when we are babies, and you still have to do a normal job. So like, you have to take care of your kids and you still have to work a normal job. So then Sawyer Elizabeth in 6th grade said being a mother because you're raising tiny humans. But she also said it's the most rewarding job. And I do agree with you, Sawyer. It is the hardest and most rewarding job. Sarah in 7th grade said parenting is the hardest because kids don't always behave, and they can be really crazy and hard to take care of sometimes. So I agree with you, Sarah. It's because you guys are growing and your brain is still forming. So you don't always make the best decisions. And that's okay. As your parent, we love you. Then we have 2 kids in the school that I think all of the teachers would like to just pat your little back or give you an air hug, because Gavin in 8th grade and Matthew in 8th grade said that being a teacher is the hardest job in the world, because you have to put up with kids all day long and then go home. And then Matthew said you have to go to school for 8 hours a day, and then you go home and do more work. So You guys, thank you for recognizing all of the hard work that our teachers do every day to make sure that you can learn and do everything you need to do to be successful in life. So you guys answered those questions amazingly. I really love what you put in there. So next week, the question I want to ask you is, what is a lesson that you've learned in middle school? So it can be this year, or if you're in 7th or 8th grade, it can be a year previous in middle school. So what's something you've learned in middle school that you think is going to be useful in life? So what's something that you're going to remember from your middle school career, and you're going to carry that with you through life? Okay, it can be an academic thing, or it can be like a life lesson. Is there something you've learned throughout your middle school career of sorts, and is that you're going to take with you through life and that you're not going to forget easily? So think about it and then go respond in the Think About It Thursday. What is something that you've learned in middle school that you're not going to forget and you're going to use throughout your life? Have a great day, and I will see you next week.